Hey guys, hope all is well. Today I'll be explaining the Maths Week 9 CA quiz, and it's really easy, really short. It might seem difficult at first, but trust me, once you get the hang of it, it will be very easy. Okay, so let's begin. The first question, which of the following is the possible root of x cubed minus mx squared minus 9x plus 7, where m is a whole number? Select the three correct options. Okay, before we start, I need to tell you that this question is wrong, okay? I don't think it's gonna come the same in the exam. There's only one correct option here, and I'll tell you why. I'll do only one of them to avoid wasting time. Alright. So, x cubed minus mx squared minus 9x plus 7 equals 0. We're gonna make it equals 0. That's the first thing we'll do, okay? Now, we're gonna have to check all the roots, alright? But I'm gonna check the correct one, which is this one. The other ones are all wrong, okay? Now you'll know why. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take negative 1 and we're gonna substitute it for x in the equation, okay? Now, what are we trying to find? We're gonna try to find which one gives a whole number for m, you know? So we're gonna have to solve for m. So negative 1 and x cubed is going to be negative 1 cubed minus m negative 1 squared minus 9 negative 1 plus 7 equals 0. Okay, now negative 1 cubed is going to stay the same, negative 1. Now minus m negative 1 squared, it's going to be negative 1 squared will end up with a positive 1. Okay, so it's going to be like this, and then it's going to just cancel out. We're not going to put it. Okay, minus 9 negative 1, it's 9 times negative 9 times negative 1 is just going to be positive 9 plus 7 equals 0. Now we're gonna raise this to make some space. Now let's solve for let's find m. We're gonna flip all the other numbers to the other side and isolate m. So negative m, we're gonna flip negative 1 become 1. Then we're going to have negative 9 and negative 7. Okay, so this is going to give us negative m equals negative 9 plus negative 7 is going to be negative 16, and then negative 16 plus 1 is negative 15. Divide by negative 1 on each side, we cancel them out, becomes m equals 15. Now 15 is positive, and 1 second, and 15 is positive, and the whole number. Whole number basically means a positive number that's basically larger than 0. That's it. Okay, so m is a whole number. Since 15 is larger than 0, of course. So here, 15 is the whole number, so that makes negative 1 a possible root, a correct one. Now, I'm not going to solve the other ones to avoid wasting time. The other ones all give wrong answers. They either give you negative answers, which is impossible, and fractions cannot work because they defy the rules for rational roots. They're not rational roots. That's basically it. So the correct answer, the quiz is wrong. So the correct answer is negative 1. That's it only. That's it. Okay. It's really easy. Really, really easy. Okay. This question came last week, so it's gonna be a piece of cake. Gonna have this equation to about the division of 5x to the power of 4 minus 21x cubed plus 7x squared minus 6x minus 24 by x minus 4. Okay, so we're gonna do long division. Okay, x minus 4, 5x to the power of 4 minus 21x cubed plus 7x squared minus 6x minus 24. As long as, yeah, what to do. Now, we're going to start dividing. 5x to the power 4 divided by x is going to be 5x cubed. We're not going to divide it by the number since we can't. Okay, 5x cubed times x, it's going to be 5x to the power of 4. Okay, now we're going to have to multiply 5x cubed by negative 4 too. Alright, let me just fix the line. So 5x cubed times negative 4 is going to be negative 20x cubed. Right? Now 5x to the power 4 minus 5x to the power 4, they cancel out, we get 0. And now negative 21x cubed minus negative 20x cubed, it's going to be like this. Minus 20x cubed. This becomes plus. So negative 21x cubed plus 20x cubed is going to be negative x cubed. Okay? So erase this. Now we're going to divide negative x cubed by x. So we're going to get negative x squared. Okay? Now negative x squared times x is going to be negative x cubed. Alright? Right, I forgot to do an important step. We're going to bring down the other numbers. 7x squared minus 6x minus 24. Okay. Now, of course, we need to multiply the negative x squared by negative 4 too. So negative x squared times negative 4 is going to be 4x squared. Alright? So that's it. We're going to subtract negative x cubed minus x cubed is going to be 0. They cancel out. 7x squared minus 4x squared is going to be 3x squared. Okay? And now we bring down the other numbers. Negative 6x minus 24. 3x squared divided by x is going to be plus 3x. Okay? Multiply 3x by x is minus 4. You're gonna get 3x squared. So, and 3x times negative 4 is going to be negative 12x. Subtract 0. Negative 6x minus negative 6x minus negative 12 is going to be like this. Minus 6 minus 12x equals, becomes plus. So 12 minus 6 is 6x. I have 6x. Okay? Now 6x, we're going to bring it down negative 24. Now 6x divided by x is going to be simply 6. 6 times x is going to be 6x. Now subtract. And 6 times negative 4 is going to be negative 24. So this cancels out, becomes 0. And negative 24 minus, let me just erase this. Okay. Negative 24. Negative 24 minus negative 24 becomes plus. So that will be equal to 0. So this is 0. Which leaves us by the end. So there's no remainder. So that means the remainder of the division is 0. That's the correct answer. And let's see what we got. We got 5x cubed minus x squared plus 3x plus 6. Let's see what they say here. 5x cubed minus x squared plus 3x plus 6. We got it correct. So this is correct too. Now the last one. Is it divisible by x minus 4? Clearly, like we tried now, it is. So those are the correct options. And that's it. Okay? Sorry for the mess. Hope you understood. Now, let's go to question 3. Which of the following is true about 3x minus 4, 3x plus 2? Okay, this is very, very easy. That didn't work. Okay, let me just solve it and then I'll show you the options. Okay, so we got 3x minus 4 3x plus 2. You're gonna do x times 3x, multiply them. So you're gonna have 3x squared plus x times 2 is 2x. Minus, now we're gonna move to negative 4. Negative 4 times 3x is going to be negative 12x. Now negative 4 times 2 is going to be negative 8. Okay? So that's it. You're gonna have this equation 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. Okay? Now all of this is multiplied by 3. We're gonna multiply by 3, we're gonna get 9x squared minus 30x minus 24. Okay? So that's it. Now that we have this, we can factor it. So you're gonna have it over to your calculator. You're gonna do mod 5 3. You're gonna put 9, negative 30, and negative 24. You're gonna get x equal to 4 at the first root, and the second root is going to be x equal to negative 2 over 3. Those are your roots. Okay. Now let's erase all of this. Now we have the roots. Now before moving on, we need to make this table. Negative 2 over 3 and 4. Okay. Now, since we have these two numbers, these two roots, we're gonna see if it's between or if it's what's it called, greater or less. So this is how we check. We use a technique called same opposite same. Okay. We got as the equation, if you remember, 9x squared, and a, which is 9, is positive. So we're gonna put same positive. It's the same as a, so it's positive. And now opposite of a is negative, since it was positive already. And then same again, positive. So positive, negative, positive. Okay. So we can see at the roots they are positive, but between them they're negative. Okay. We can use that. Now, just put it again. Same, opposite, same. Now let's see the options. It is greater than 0 for all x such that x less than negative 2 over 3 or x greater than 4. Let's check. Yes, they are greater than 0 at the positives. See, they're at positives, that means they're greater than 0. So yes, this is correct. We don't use this because it's not between. Remember, okay? If it's between, it will be at the center. So this is wrong. And this is obviously wrong. Now, it is less than 0 for all x such that negative 2 over 3 less than x less than 4. Okay, less than 0, we're talking about the negative, the one in the middle. So that means it's between negative 2 over 3 less than x, and x is less than 4. When they ask for whatever sign, it might be positive, negative, we'll have to, what's it called? For example, if it was positive here, it would be greater than 0 and between. Okay, between depends if it's literally between at the center. Now we're gonna check. We always check the sign. If it's negative, then it's less than 0. Positive, obviously greater than 0. All right. Let's check the third option. It is equal to 0 whenever x equals 4 or x equals negative 2 over 3. This is obvious, since they are roots, and we make the factored equation equal to 0. So the roots are, whenever it's equal to 0, the roots are equal. Like, let me just show you again. We got, I think, 9x squared, if I remember correctly, 3x, and then whatever number it was, okay? Something, alright? So we got the root as x equals 4 and x equals negative 2 over 3. We got these roots when this equation was equal to 0. So when it is equal to 0, it's equal, the x is equal to 4 and equal to negative 2 over 3, which is basically the roots. Okay, that's it. Very easy. You just have to understand what's going on. Now for question 4. Which of the following statements about the quadratic trinomial x squared minus 2x minus 24 is correct? Select the 3 correct options. Alright, this is very easy. Right? Okay, we got this equation, x squared minus 2x minus 24. Alright, we're gonna factor this now. So head over to your calculator, put mod 53, and then put the numbers 1, -2, and -24. You're gonna get the two roots, x equals to 6, this is the first root, and the second root is x equals to -4. Alright, we do the same thing. We put the table, -4 and negative is here, so always put them in ascending order. -4 then 6. Now we do the same technique, same opposite, same. A here is positive, so it's going to be positive here, opposite is negative, and same is positive. Okay, so again, we got positive, negative, positive. Negative is between, and positive and the roots are positive at positive. Okay, so they're greater than 0. Now let's check the first option. X equals to -4 is a root of, we found it as a root, so this is correct. Now for the second one, x squared minus 2x minus 24 is less than 0 for x satisfying -4, basically between. Well, it's saying it's less than 0, which means it's negative. And negative here, it's between. So that's correct. Now for the last one, let me just move this. Last one, x squared minus 2x minus 24 is greater than 0 for all x less than -4, and for all x greater than 6. Yes, this is also correct. Since it's less than 0, greater than 0, they're at the positives. So that means it's less than -4 and greater than 6. That's it. Now for part B, the solution set of x squared minus 2x. Okay, let's do this. This is very easy. We got x squared minus 2x less than or equal to 24. Alright, first we're gonna have to correct it. X squared minus 2x, we move 24 to the other side, becomes -24, less than or equal to 0. Okay, so when it's less than or equal to 0, which basically means it's negative, so we're gonna put it like this: x greater than or equal to -4, and x less than or equal to 6. Okay, so if you fix it and if you restructure it, it will look like this. 1 minute. Oh, my bad. I'm doing something wrong. So yeah, sorry, I had something. So yeah, as I said, you can restructure it. It's going to be x less than or equal to 6 and x greater than or equal to 4. This is basically means between. Since it's negative, right? It's negative, so it's between, like we found in the table. So that's it. You can restructure it like this. It's the same answer, just differently structured. Now let's go on to question 5. Okay, this is also easy, same concepts. You're gonna have to use your calculator for this one, same as the last question. You're gonna put mod 53, 100 as the first number, -10, and 1. You're gonna find, so you're gonna find the root as complex numbers. When you see your calculator, it's gonna be 1/20 plus radical 3/20i. So it's complex, not real, which means this is correct. It has no real roots. Alright? So when you get I, it means it's complex. These are complex numbers, so they're not real. So we say they have this equation, this quadratic trinomial has no real roots. And then the second option, it's greater than 0 for all real numbers x. Okay, so what's basically saying, when it's positive, it's for all real numbers x. Because when it's less than 0, it's negative, which means it's I. Okay? But when it's greater than or equal, greater than 0, it's for all real numbers x. So what basically means, when it's less than or less than 0, it's complex, no real roots, no real number. But when it's greater than 0, which means it's positive, it means it's for all real numbers x. Okay? So for all real numbers, it's correct. That's what it basically means. I hope you understood. Part B, the solution set of, okay, this is the same thing. 100 x squared greater than or equal to 10x minus 1. Now we're gonna flip it on the other side. 100x squared, you're gonna flip 10x, it becomes negative 10x. And then you're gonna flip negative 1, becomes plus 1, greater than or equal to 0. Okay? Like we said, when it's greater than or equal to 0, it's for all real numbers. So here it's a set of real numbers. Okay? That's it. Since it's positive and complex, it basically means negative. Okay, this is what's the value of m if expressed with the factor. Okay, you're gonna use something called where the remainder rule. Okay, it's going to be x to the power, wait 1 minute. Okay, so you're gonna use a rule called the remainder rule. So what you're gonna do, it's basically means p of x equals x minus a. Okay, what you're gonna do here, you're gonna make x equals a, which basically means you flip negative a to the other side, so you can substitute a in the equation. Okay, and this is what you're gonna do in the equation. So let me show you first hand. Now x plus 2, you're gonna make it x. This basically means x minus or plus a, right? We're gonna flip our a to the other side, becomes negative a, right? For same thing here, you're gonna do x plus 2 equals 0. Flip 2 to the other side, it becomes negative 2. Now we're gonna substitute negative 2 into this equation for x. You're gonna substitute negative 2 for x. So negative 2 to the power of 4 minus 2 times negative 2 to the power of 2 plus 3m times negative 2 plus 64. Just let me double check on the calculators to make sure I'm correct, so I don't do any mistakes. Okay, so in the calculator, you can just put all of this, and put m as x in the calculator, and then solve for x. You're gonna get m equals 12. Okay? But if you don't want to solve it, let me solve it first hand with you. Negative 2 to the power of 4. Okay? It's going to be 2 to the power of 4. It's going to be 16. You cancel a negative. Minus negative 2 times negative 2 squared. We can put negative 2 squared as 4. So negative 2 times 4 is going to be 8. Negative 8, of course. Plus 3m. 3 times m times negative 2. You're going to get negative 6m plus 64. Okay, I'm going to make it equal to 0. Now we can solve for m. You put negative 6m isolate negative 6m, and move everything to the other side. It's going to become negative 16 plus 8, and then minus 64. Okay, so negative 16 plus 8 is going to be negative 8. Negative 8 plus negative 64 is negative 72. So you're gonna have negative 6m equals to negative 72. Divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6, you're gonna have m equals to 12. And that's it. You can just do this on the calculator, or you can do it on paper, whatever you like. Now question 7. What is the value of the remainder when dividing okay, 1 minute. Here you don't use the remainder theorem, but it's the same answer. You use something called the factor theorem, which you basically put the root for x. It's the same idea, but there are different rules. It's better to be aware of it. Okay. Now we're gonna use the remainder theorem, like I showed you. You're just gonna make x minus 1 into x equals 1. Now we're gonna substitute 1 for x here. So easy. X, whatever square, cube to the power of 4, it's going to be 1 then, so we just don't count them. 4 plus 15, it's just going to be 19. That's it. Now for question 8. Okay, they want us to do long division. Consider the incomplete long division below to divide 4x cubed plus 6x squared minus 11x minus 9 by x minus 3. Okay. Doesn't need writing, you can just use your eyes, but let's do it anyways. Now we have x minus 3 here. Okay, you're gonna start with the same first number. 4x cubed divided by x, you're gonna have 4x squared. Now 4x squared times x is going to be 4x cubed, you have it here. And then 4x squared minus negative 3 is going to be negative 12. Okay, they're asking us what the sign is. It's 12. We don't put negative 12 since the negative is already there. They gave it to us. Okay, now for the, let's continue. Now we subtract them, we cancel these two. Now 6 minus negative 12 becomes 18x squared, minus, we bring down the numbers, 18x squared minus 11x minus 9. Now we do 18x divided by x, it's just going to be 18x. Okay, so this sign over here is 18. Okay, yep, it's 18. That's it. Now for C. Fill in the blanks with the correct numbers. 4x cubed plus 6x squared minus 11x minus 9 equals x minus 3. Okay, they want us to... Okay, this is pretty simple. 1 minute. Now screen light. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do here? We're gonna use something called synthetic division. Okay. We're gonna use x. We're gonna make x minus 3. You take minus 3. Okay. As x. Like separate it like this. Then we have x cubed, x squared, x and constant. Now x cubed over here is 4. X squared is 6. X is negative 11, and constant is negative 9. Okay. Now let's add them. We bring 4 down. Okay, so 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. So you do negative 12 plus 6. It's going to be negative 6. Wait, my bad. I did it wrong. I'm gonna have to do it not this way. Okay, guys, I realized my mistake. My bad. So x minus 3, I forgot to do a very simple thing. We make it x equals 3 to get the root. صح. So it's positive 3 here. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. Now we do 18 times 3. It's 54. 54 minus 11 is 43. Now 43 times 3 is 129. 129 minus 9 is 120. Okay? So you got the answer. Now we, of course, we divide the x cubed, the x squared x, and all by the x over here. So this x cubed we divide by x becomes x squared. So 4x squared plus x cubed divided by x becomes x, plus 18x plus x divided by x becomes constant. So you do plus 43. That's its own thing, and then we add 120. Okay. So yes, this is the answer. We just plug it in. Okay. That's it. Now consider the polynomial tx equals 7x cubed minus 17x squared plus 13x minus 3. Given that k over 7 is a root of tex, what is the value of k? Okay, you can use mod 5.3 to make things quick. Sorry, not mod 5.3, you're gonna use mod 5.4 because we have 4 values here. Mod 5.4. So we're gonna put 7, negative 17, 13, and negative 3. You get the root 3 over 7, and that's all your root you get. No, sorry, you get 3 over 7 as the first root, and the second root is x equals to 1. Okay, so these are the two roots of this trinomial, of this polynomial, my bad. Now, they want k is obviously 3, so it's 3 over 7. So yes, that's the answer for part A. Now for part B, this is a bit, now we're gonna have to factor for real to get this answer, okay? I want us to factor it completely. So let's begin. You've got 7x cubed, let's write it on the side, 7x cubed minus 17x squared plus 13x minus 3. You're gonna make it, now, before anything else, we need to make it into a trinomial, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the synthetic division. We're gonna use the root 3 over 7, okay? This is the x, and x cubed, x squared, x, and constant. Now x cubed is 7, x squared is negative 17, x is 13, and constant is negative 3. Now, let's prepare to add them. We'll bring it down 7. 7 times 3 over 7. 3 over 7 is 3. So negative 17 plus 3 is going to be negative 14. Okay? Now, negative 14 times 3 over 7 is going to be negative 6. 13 minus 6 is going to be 7. Then 7 times 3 over 7 is going to be again 3. Negative 3 plus 3, 0. Cross them out. Okay, so the constant is 0, and we got, we divide the x cubed by x, x squared by x, and x by x. You get 7x squared minus 14x plus 7, right? So you put this here, 7x squared minus 14x plus 7. Now let's erase this to finish this. Okay. Now, let's factor it. So you're gonna put 7, you're gonna remove the 7. It's going to become x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay, now we made it simpler. We're gonna factor this. Okay, go mod 5.3, 1, negative 2, 1. You're gonna have the roots of 1. Okay, x equals to 1. Alright, so before we make it x equals to 1, we're gonna convert it back to x minus 1. Okay. Wait, I realized. Okay, let's imagine this is the written part, right? Let's not use the calculator. If it's a written part, you're gonna have to factor it manually. So you're gonna do x minus 1 1 minute. I'm gonna try to remember, I forgot. Okay, so yeah, I remembered how to factor. Now x minus 1, I'm gonna put the other x minus 1. What will that give us? Negative 1 times x is going to be negative x, and then negative 1x, and then negative 1 times x is going to be negative 1x. Negative 1x plus negative 1x is going to be negative 2x. We're trying to factor it to get the, and when we just multiply them together, they must give us the answer in the middle, the x. Alright? So we can simplify this by writing it as x minus 1 squared. Now that we're done with this part, we can use what we found in the part A. We got the root as 3 over 7, right? How do we get it as 3 over 7? So basically it was 3, we divided by 7. So it must have been 7x. We flip the 3, it's going to be 7x minus 3. So you're going to put it beside it, 7x minus 3. These are the factors. This is how we factor it completely. And indeed, this is what we got. Okay? Make sure to rewatch it if you didn't understand. It's simple, really. You just have to factor it manually, you know, without a calculator. As if you're doing a written part. Now, for C, what is the root of tx? Okay. Oh, okay, so what we found, 1 and 3 over 7. These are the roots we found. Okay, this is a question that came last week. Also very easy. We got 2x cubed plus 7x squared minus 7x minus 12. Okay, when we see this, when I see a polynomial, we do synthetic division. So, we got x plus 1. So we make it x equals to negative 1. Negative 1, x cubed, x squared, and x and constant. Now we got 2, 7, minus 7, and minus 12. Now let's add them up. We bring 2 down. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. Now 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Negative 7 plus negative 5 is going to be negative 12. And then negative 12 times negative 1 is 12. This cancels, becomes 0. The constant is 0. Remember guys, when you see the constant 0, you know that you're on the right path. But if it's not 0, it means you're doing something wrong. Okay? When you want to do a synthetic division to find a trinomial. Alright. Now, of course, again, we divide x cubed, x squared, x, and x by x. So it's 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 as a constant. And yes, they wanted us to just put this equation. We got it. Now that's for part A. Okay, now let's just factor it. To make it quick, let's just do mod 5, 3. 2, 5, and 12. 1 minute. I did something wrong. 2, 5, and negative 12. Okay, you get the roots of x equals 3 over 2 and x equals negative 4. They want us to just put in the roots. Before we found them, how did they look like? We divided by 2, so it must have been 2x, and we flip 3, it becomes negative 3 equals 0, and x equals negative 4, we just bring back 4, and it becomes x plus 4 equals 0. And yes, this is what we got. That's what we put. Alright. Now for the last one, they want, if the tank has a square base, has a square base, and the dimensions of the base are 11 meter by 11 meter. Okay, we have to find 11 and 11. Okay. So what we have to do is make, let me just erase everything. What we have to do is make 2x minus 3 equals x plus 4. You solve for x. Flip x over there. 2x minus x equals 3 plus 4. It becomes x equals 7. We found x as 7. So now we just substitute it in the equations. Okay. So now For the first one, 2x minus 3. We substitute 7 for x, it becomes 14 minus 3 equals 11. That's for the first one. Now for the second one, x plus 4. We substitute 7. It could become 7 plus 4 equals 11. And that's the second one. That's it. It's very simple. Okay. These are complex numbers. They might look hard, but they're really, really easy. Maybe one of the easiest in the quiz. Okay. So what we have to do, let's read the question first. Always read the question. Express the given complex number in the form a plus bi, where I equals radical negative 1. Okay. Since I equals radical negative 1, I have to put it like this to further simplify it. I squared 6. See, what we did here is separated the 12. We then made it 6 times 2, right? We separated them so we can have I squared. I squared is just 1. 1 to the power of 6. Minus, we're going to do the same thing with I to the power of 7. Okay? I to the power of 7. We make it into I to the power of, what's it called? I to the power of 1. We isolate it, we put 6 outside. Now, we've got 1 to the power of 6, and I to the power of 1, 6. Okay? What we're gonna put here is I. Since it's just I to the power of 1, it's just I, right? So 1 to the power of 6 is just 1, and I, since it's even, it's going to be positive. So you make it 1 plus I. That's it. This is in standard form. Okay? So let me just recap. You get I to the power of 2, and outside is 6. We separate them. Minus I to the power of 1, and 6 outside. You make I squared equals 1 to the power of 6 plus I to the power of 1 is just I. And since it's to the power of 6, 6 turns negative into positive. Okay? When it's an even exponent, it turns the sign into positive. So we just leave I as it is. So it's going to be 1 to the power of 6, which is 1, plus I. That's it. So now moving on to the next question. Okay. Now we moved on to the easy stuff. 5x plus 3 x plus 4 equals 20. Okay, you're gonna divide by 5 here, you get x plus 3 x plus 4 equals 4. Now we're just gonna multiply these together. You're gonna get x squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 12. Simplify it, you distribute it, and it becomes x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 4. Now, you're going to factor this. Sorry, not going to factor it, I mean, what's it called? What they want, the given equation has roots x equals a and x equals b. Find the value of ab. Okay, so you're going to factor it. 1, 5, 3, 1, 7, and 12. Okay. We got x equals negative 3 and x equals negative 4. Okay. Oh yeah, before that, you want to flip 4 to the equation. It becomes x squared plus 7x plus 8 equals 0. Now we can factor it. You're gonna factor it. You're gonna put mod 5 3 1 7 8 equals. Okay, you're gonna get in radical form negative 7 plus radical 17 over 2 and negative 7 minus radical 17 over 2. Now they want us to multiply a and b, the two roots. So we multiply these two together. Yeah, do it on the calculator. It's going to be equal to 8. Okay, just do it in the calculator. So it's equal to 8. That's it. Now we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna factor it. 153. Gonna put 16, negative 8, negative 47. You're gonna get 1 plus 4 radical 3 over 4. Okay? So they want us to find the number in the radical. You're gonna get also 1 minus 4 radical 3 over 4. They want us to find the number in the radical, which is 3. Exactly. That's how it is. Okay? Now for question 14. The given system of equations has a solution AB where A is positive. Find the value of A. Okay, they want us to find the... Okay, well, it's really easy. X plus, we have Y equals, so we're going to substitute the Y into the equation. 3x minus 1 squared equals 9. Now we're going to add them up. We're going to get 4x minus 1 squared equals 9. I'm going to put it up. Now I'm going to put radical to get rid of the square. It's going to be 4x minus 1 equals 3. Flip negative 1 to the other side. You're going to get 4x equals 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals 1. And indeed we got 1. Okay. Now we're gonna do basically the same thing. 2x squared plus 8x plus 20 equals to 2 minus 4x. Okay, so we're gonna factor it. Before you factor it, you're gonna have to flip them to the other side. Flip 2 and negative 4x. You're gonna get 2x squared plus 6x plus 24. I switched the numbers. You're gonna get 12x plus 18. Okay, now just put it 153, 2, 12, and 18. You're gonna get x equals negative 3, and that's all your root you get. So that's the answer. Okay, that's it. Alright, sum of the roots of the given equation is 4 and the product is negative 6. Find the value of A. Before we start, let me just give you a few rules you need to memorize. It's going to be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, this is a basic trinomial equation, and now they gave us the sum and the product, so we can use those to our advantage. So there's a rule for sum and product. For a sum, it's going to be negative b over a, and for product it's going to be c over a. Alright, now let's begin. We want to find the sum. Okay, this it's going to be negative b over a, so negative b, which is negative 10 2a minus b x, so we're going to put negative 10 2a minus b over a is 5. Okay, now we're just gonna, what we're gonna do here is the negative and negative cancel out, so this becomes positive. So divide by 5 here, divide by 5, and I get 2a minus b. Okay, now we're gonna make it equals to 4, since we already have the sum, right? Alright, so we divide by 2 here, divide by 2. You're gonna get 2a minus b equals 2. Okay? Now we're gonna make something called equation 1. 2a minus b equals 2. Now leave it for later, okay? I'm gonna come back to it. Alright, now let's move on to the product. Product is c over a, right? C over a. We got c, which is 3b, over a, which is 5. Equals to the product, which is negative 6. To make it negative 6 over 1 and cross multiply. you're gonna get negative 30 equals 3b. Divide by 3, divide by 3. You're gonna get b equals to negative 10. Right? So now that we have b, we can substitute it in equation 1 that we got in, for the sum. So now 2a minus 10 that we substituted in equals to, the negatives becomes plus, so 2a plus 10 equals 2. So now we flip 10 to the other side, becomes 2a equals negative 8, since 10 minus 2, negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. Divide by 2, divide by 2. The final answer is a equals to negative 4. Okay? And they wanted us to find a. So we found a as negative 4. That's the answer. If they wanted b, we just put negative 10. But they wanted a, so we had to continue. That's it. Now for question 17. Okay. What you're going to do here is it's divisible by x minus 3. For what value of the constant n, let's read the question. For what value of the constant n is qx equals x cubed plus n minus 15 x squared plus 2n plus 1 x minus 15 divisible by x minus 3. Now, you're going to get the equation over here. It's divisible by x minus 3. Since it's divisible by x minus 3, we can say that the root is 3. Okay? We will flip negative 3 to the other side, becomes 3. Since it's divisible, the root is 3. Okay, so now that we have x, we just substitute it in the equation. So 3 cubed plus bracket n minus 15, 3 squared plus bracket 2n plus 1 times 3 minus 15. Okay, now let's solve. It's going to be 27 plus 3n minus 45. Oh wait, my bad. It's 3 squared, so we're gonna make 9n times minus 135, since 9 times negative 15 is 135, plus 3 times 2n, which is 6n, plus 3 minus 15. Okay, all of this is equal to 0. Now let's just solve. Now, 9n plus 6n is 15n. 15n plus, cross them out. Now, 27 minus 135 plus 3 minus 15. It's going to be, I put it in the calculator. It's going to be negative 120. 0. So you're going to flip negative 120 to the other side. It becomes 15n equals 120. So 15, divide 120 by 15. Divide by 15. You get n as 8. And that's the answer, 8. You're just trying to find the value of n. Okay? See, they're asking for what value of the constant n. So they're asking for n. So you find the x, which is 3, the root, and just substitute it in and solve for n. That's it. Simple math. Now the last question. It's really easy. We're going to use the remainder theorem. What we're going to do... Oh, look, they're so kind. They gave us the number already that we can substitute it in. So we just do the job and substitute it. 0.02 times 30 cubed minus 0.12 times 30 squared plus 2.5 times 30 minus 50. Let me just put it in the calculator to make sure. 0.02 times 30 cubed minus 0.12 times 30 squared plus 2.5 times 30 minus 50. You're gonna get 457 as a final answer. And that's it. Okay, this is the final question, and it's the easiest one. Alright, I hope you understood, guys. I hope it's easier now. And see, I told you, it's really, really easy. You just have to apply some rules and memorize them and understand what's really going on. Alright? Thank you guys, and good luck on your exam. See you soon.